have to threaten with Meiko. It's not their favorite pick in the bot lane. Poppy not a very lane dominant pick, so we have seen a lot less Poppy support in this split with no more lane swaps being a thing. But Poppy and the Sejuani is still a very valid matchup for Poppy and could be a really nice pick here for Jiejie and IG. That said, it is going to be the trusty dusty Renekton here for TheShy.
You know what could also happen, Matt, is now that a decent amount of tank supports have been eliminated, if you go into the second round and FPX haven't locked down a tank support, you take out, what is it, Alistar and what would the other be? Rakan. You can open up for something like a hyper carry bot lane with a Lulu or Emilio or whatever enchanter support. We're at that point in the Fearless draft now.
I mean, they're really just daring sheer to pick Jax here for me, as I feel like Jax is the no-brainer pick to come out later on. You could go Cassante too if you wanted to, but feel like, oh, okay, never mind. It's going to be the sheer Kennen, something that he did play earlier on in the best of threes, did find a win for FPX. I believe it was over Up in that series where he did play the Kennen. A little bit of an older Renekton matchup, but that does bring some AP, and I gotta say that can enable an AD mid laner. We have seen Tristana played both mid and bot, so technically a flex for FPX throughout the draft, but gotta believe that Trist being picked up to potentially pilot into the Yone. And yeah, you're screaming Lilia. I think that Zyra could be an option too.
Zyra too.
As we're expecting a magic damage jungler to come out from IG and Jiejie.
I can see Zyra since there's already a strong engage from FPX. It's a way to disengage it, but Lilia...
But Lilia is harder for me. Okay.
This is what IG have run with anytime that Jiejie was asked to play an AP jungler, and you had double AD solo laners for TheShy and Rookie. So now we move into the second round of bans. Supports have yet to be locked in for either squad. This Tristana could be flexed to awesome. It could also just be in Care's hands. So we have no knowledge of what bot laners will be locked in yet for FPX and IG.
I mean, I think the Draven ban could be setting up. I mean, it could be a Gala Lucian, and you can find the pairing later on. I will say that I think Alistar really goes up in priority this game if you are IG, because having the headbutt pulverized to help deal with Kennen, maybe knock him out of casting that ultimate on top of your entire team, again, could be really valuable for IG, so wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe try and protect an Alistar here. As Silas ban, that's Alistar setup ban, potentially. I will say, though, if Alistar comes in, playing Braum into that is okay if you're FPX and you already have the Tristana. That said, still going to ban out the Alistar. So, yeah, likely to see Gala. I would like Jin here a lot. Can set up and play really nicely off of the Yone and the Lilia. So I think we're just going to slam the Jin and go from there.
Yeah, and it doesn't limit you to having to play an enchanter support because...
Well, you can't really play one with Jin. Like, if you're going to play an enchanter support
that's
with
what
Jin...
I'm saying.
Yeah,
it doesn't limit you, because if you pick something like a Jinx here, then it feels almost wrong to not, like, slam a Lulu or something that would really accelerate the Jinx. This adds a little bit more utility. It takes the burden of carry away from Gala.
The best one that's left is probably Karma. Like, the one in terms of what you can actually pair with Jin. But, I mean, yeah, it's just going to be Ashe Braum. So I guess it's just Rakan for Meiko and we call it a day. Unless they want to get really creative and play the Karma. But again, you could eat it and play the Poppy, but that Poppy is so vulnerable to Ashe Braum and lane. I'm just mentioning that because the Keeper's Verdict against Kennen could be really big later on. You have some positive interactions in the game, but... I mean, yeah, he's just having fun. It's going to be Rakan Raafaa.
I think it makes sense because you need some additional engage tools follow up so that Rookie and Jiejie are not burdened with the playmaking. Meiko can at least try to find ways to use quickness and grand entrance to set up the initial engage, bait out some cooldowns, give an easier time for the rest of IG carries, because this is once again a quasi threat composition.
Yeah. I gotta say too, like Ashe Braum, I'm a big fan of Ashe Braum, but I think this game it's actually pretty vulnerable. Braum in the Lilia, Jin, even Yone, it's really tricky to actually get those Winner's Bite procs off, just like with how far back Jin plays, how fast Lilia can be, and how they can really combo off each other in fights and stay out of your range. And Ashe struggles with that as well. So I think the onus is really on IG to make sure that when they do have that big like press their Rs, they're going to have a big shotgun fight at the start. I think that they have to be careful about how they play around Kennen, and they can't get stuck into the Kennen, Braum, Ashe, Sejuani, because if they do, that double marksman comp can really take over for FPX. So I think the onus of execution on IG, their engages do have to be sound this game. If not, then FPX has real potential to punish, but I do favor IG's draft quite a bit and think it's going to be hard for the Ashe Braum to function later on.
And based on the way that these games have played out, we've gone the distance. We've gone 40+ minutes in both of them. And when I look at IG's composition, one champion just stands out in that Yone. So it doesn't even matter how bad the early laning phase could be, because I have yet to see FPX be able to close a game out with the leads that they have gotten in the early game. I feel very confident that we're going to see a 3-item plus Yone by the time the game is coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, could be real potential. Again, Rookie, someone that I think has been really, really big on the mages. I feel like there's been a little bit more confidence when Rookie does play those, but on the Yone, always the potential to see a good old Rookie pop off, and we'll see if he's able to get big in this game and maybe be a menace in the side lane later on.
Jiejie's ringing loud and proud for both squads. Credit to both teams. They've been able to really fight with everything that they've got. Sometimes it was messy, but other times it was pure cinema. We've now arrived to this point, game 3, where winner will take all. And this is just the first match of the Rumble stage. We still have 8 more weeks of games. So it's not like this is going to be, damning or, strongly indicating of how the season is going to play out. But just what an awesome way to kick off this second half of the overall split 2 for LPL. Just to see, one of the perceived top teams coming out of the group stage, 6-0 against FPX, who had to make miracles happen to make it through the qualifier stage, actually be strangely competitive.
Yeah, some of it for sure they're doing. Some of it for sure maybe IG is doing a little bit, as it has been a back and forth series. Some swap being thrown out from each side here. But we'll see who ends up the cleaner team and the victors at the end of this one. Is again FPX trying to make that map 1 win into a big series win. Find a good trade here on the Gala and Meiko, as Rakan Sustain going to do all it can to top them off. But of course, Ashe Braum, the Frayorian duo, able to utilize those and play off each other quite nice in the bot lane. See some of that power shining through here. Ah,
yes. The jungler's favorite tool when they have Ashe on their team, the Hawk Shot. Going to give vision to the entire squad of where Jiejie started and where he is going. As he's pathing towards the bottom side of the map. Ooh. Shadow is going to actually, instead of going to his top side, try and match. He's got push from Jwei and Awesome on the bottom side of the map. Just going to look for a quick steal on this blue buff. But Jiejie is almost finished with the Wolves. Throws down the ward and sees that Shadow is trying to yoink this blue buff away. Jwei is going to step up, and a good smite from Shadow as he tries to lunge forward on Jiejie. Doesn't find the knockup, but the damage has been done. The blue buff is secured.
Yeah, I still like that from FPX. Again, Shadow just taking what he can and what's given to him. As Ashe Braum, half priority, no surprise there. Nice little set play from FPX. Kick this one off and get Shadow a small advantage.
Shadow's gonna just immediately run towards his top side now with a solid camp advantage for himself. Should be able to secure the top grab because he's got pushing lanes in both mid and top. So once again, FPX able to at least draft for themselves pushing lanes for the early game, and it helps give Shadow a strong scope of how to play the map, which we've seen to their credit. At least FPX have been able to play out fairly well, but very volatile in the mid lane right now. Jiejie looking to collapse on the Care. Has flash available. Maybe Q flash. There it is. Gets the dot tick, and it doesn't matter. Care tries to answer back, but it's first blood for Jiejie.
Yeah, Care has to react flash that one. Unfortunately, it was not quite in time as Care goes down. Good trading from Rookie to set that one up in the mid lane. Is heal burn from Awesome. Flash over. Gala.
Yeah, cleanse and flash. He has to run away, but good block by Meiko. Absorbs the winner's bite that could have slowed down Gala for a kill. Will survive thanks to the credit of his support.
That was really clutch from Meiko. Really well played there. As IG off to a hot start in the mid lane and able to survive bot. That is nice. Again, IG, I think as we start to talk more and more about this game, curious to see what happens with the grub. Gotta imagine that with a Renekton, Yone, Lilia, first grub, very appetizing for IG, especially if they're able to rotate their bot lane up here first. Renekton 6, so big, it's sometimes just, you know, auto-winning or securing grubs. That said, Kennen, a good matchup in a Renekton, has done a nice job of chunking out TheShy on one of his specialty picks. Shadow gonna be here. He stops the base, and TheShy might have to outplay a dive.
And Jiejie way too far away. Shy has a flash. Might just be forced to give up this minion wave. Just really good presence from Shadow. Not over-forcing the play. Just doing what he can to starve TheShy away from resources. And man, this is a pretty solid opener from FPX here.
TheShy's really down now in this matchup, and this is going to be a PTA Renekton. Of course, can't really utilize that Conqueror very well in the lane against Kennen, but will take some of the power away from him in the team fight. He does have that PTA. Does go bot, will be able to catch this wave. Actually, sheer TPing, and Ash Braum doing a little bit of cross-country mile to actually get back to match the dual lane. As while it's going on, Jiejie
the
sneaks
flash
in,
from Shadow.
but he's no flash.
Got the auto attack down, and Jiejie no flash as you called it before. The stun not gonna land quite yet. Permafrost. Oh, he can't get in range. That's crazy. Permafrost will lock up TheShy instead, and he still has the flash if he needs it. Gets the Cold to Meek for extra sustain. Shadow going crazy under the tower. Oh man, he wanted to force it, but just a little too far. And IG punish.
That's huge. It's way too far. TheShy is going to be able to TP back, catch the vast majority of this wave. Meanwhile, Jiejie doing his best to jungle privilege, make his way up towards the grubs, which are available to be taken. Shadow going down. Lost a lot of ability to at least try and make an answer play on the map. Now going to be relegated to just trying to find what he can. I will say, as all this has been going on, obviously TheShy, he TP'd back, but Jiejie actually setting his eye still towards his bot side. Sheer has the ult available, but Jiejie hits
Jiejie's
6.
level 6. TheShy, it doesn't even matter if he's not level 6. Jiejie doesn't have flash available, though. Sheer has flash. He should be able to make it all out.
Nice.
Yep.
That's grubs going over then. First 3 grubs. Ash Braum still getting pushed. They rotated them up towards the top side. Shadow gonna knock these down. So the look from IG and Jiejie doesn't end up connecting. But this was big. Shadow, maybe if he flashes, I think if he flashes then W's, he actually gets this. Because keep in mind, it's 3 stacks of the Permafrost passive there. If he flash W's, that's 4. He gets the stun way earlier. It missed. They end up not connecting with a kill on the Jiejie. And then Shadow ends up making it pretty easy for TheShy to connect with a kill, as this Q in, a little bit unwarranted from the Sejuani.
Such a crucial stun from TheShy, as you cannot cast the Permafrost while in the middle of your W animation, and it gives enough time for Jiejie to escape range from it. And we didn't see a replay of the player cam, but Shadow so frustrated as an all-in from TheShy, looking for just to push out and shove up this wave using the power of the Dominus there, while Jiejie is still on the bottom side and that's nice. Getting a chance to crash the wave, and Sheer has to back off because he doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom to defend himself.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Renekton, he has access to sustain in this kit. Kennen does not, so any even trade is actually winning for the Renekton. Again, TheShy, he is an outstanding Renekton player. Has always been fantastic at this champ, knows his matchups really well, always able to execute. Well played there. We saw him being denied a wave earlier in the Kennen matchup with the help of Shadow directly in his lane. Just the soft pressure of Jiejie completing that dragon enough to force Sheer off, and another rotation coming in from FPX as that entire wave gets deleted. Actually going to be pushing back towards TheShy and IG, and we'll be pushing back towards Gala as the swap is in from each team.
Looking for Rookie. Slick sidestep. The soul unbound. Still taking a lot of damage, but Q3 right on top. Fate sealed into 2. Care pushes them away with the Buster Shot. Rookie's now in trouble. It still has a flash. Here comes Jiejie. Flash available. Jwei. Having to flash over the wall. Could have been close there. Oh, Shadow wants to look for it, but Meiko absorbs it with his body. And Rookie survives.
I love Meiko's understanding of his role this game. Again, Rakan can be so slippery. If you want to be a really good Rakan player at home, you have to utilize the fact that you can W out, can eat teammates to catch abilities, protect them, and be able to slink out of fights, doing a brilliant job of baiting stuff out of the Braum, out of the Sejuani to protect his carries. Been a really, really nice start to the game from Meiko.
You could tell how hungry, how desperate FPX are trying to fish for these plays. And IG just managing to absorb a majority of them so far. Really the only couple proactive things that FPX were able to do. The early blue buff steal from Shadow. The top lane play trying to deny TheShy. A lot of experience in gold. IG have been able to answer back so far. We're almost 10 minutes into the game. First 3 grubs did go over to FPX's way. IG were able to trade for a dragon. Second one is coming up in 2 minutes and 45 minutes, or 45 seconds time. A minute and 15 for the second rotation of grubs.
I'll say Rookie being into sheer is something that could be punishable. Rookie a little bit ahead at the moment, but sheer about to ding 8. If they want to send anything towards there, again, that cannon R pretty much forces Yone to buffer the stun out with his R of his own at this point of the game. But things slowing down a little bit here, and you've got to believe it's going to be a full contest from IG for the upcoming grubs. Those first grubs were traded for pressure on the bot side. That win by Jiejie bot turned that into a dragon. And now, second grub spawning. It has been FPX dominating the grubs throughout the series. Raafaa was 6 in game 1, 5 in game 2. And IG's chance to get a few back and at least even out the score in this case, because grub's very important for the Yone and very important for the Tristana. Can have an impact on both sides here. So we'll see if they're able to at least secure some of these at the moment and have a good amount of control here on the top side.
Pretty much everyone has flash available, only not available on TheShy and sheer. Where sheer, though, being occupied on the bottom side of the map. Flash, or cleanse, I should say, burned by Awesome. Now on the run. Arrow lands right onto Meiko. Should be able to battle dance away. Permafrost stun, lacks up. Concussive blows stack up as well, but Meiko still survives? No way! TheShy is able to dash away as well, but the Buster Shot will find him on the exit. IG now down to top laner. FPX should have the numbers advantage to brute force their way into the grubs pit.
Oh, TheShy still did a really nice job of buying space there, even if he went down. I cannot believe that Meiko lived through that skirmish. And another skirmish where on the back half, it's, I mean, not a lot is lost here for IG. And they were the ones that were playing out 3 lanes. So even if the skirmish is, you know, -1 or close to even, it still is them winning out on the map and the resources taken during the fight.
I mean, take a look back at this replay. It starts off with IG trying to lead the charge and then the collapse from FPX.
I like what TheShy does there. That's a free chunk. He takes it onto his Awesome. Meiko catches that enchanted crystal arrow. I cannot believe that he lived this. I mean, it was through Sejalt, Braum ult, a winner's bite, and then again, it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Because of that, both TP, or a TP was used.
Hang on.
Both TP sure was canceled. Yeah, back to
Shadow.
live grubs.
Already used 1 smite. Jiejie gets the smite on the other one, but it should be FPX cleaning the 5th one out for themselves. Rookie was fishing onto Care. Gala opens up Deadly Flourish as well. The flash forward. Oh, sheer with the slicing maelstrom, and Meiko gives his life for the team. TheShy in the middle of it all, but Gala's pumping damage. Looks for the 3rd bullet. 4th one in the chamber. Bunch of damage. The dancing grenade is going to find Care. It's not enough as he flashed away. Wait! I don't know how he died, but it's a triple kill for Gala. IG win the fight.
That fight in the choke, IG, the Lilia got so much mileage, and Rookie had a big fight himself on the Yone as a couple Q3s found multiple knockups. FPX just stuck in the choke, couldn't get anything done, and now the map all IG afterwards. They're going to open up a big lead off that play.
I have to see how Care died. I thought we already saw the damage from Dancing Grenade.
Again, it's another big engage, but a lot of it's on the Meiko. They use a lot of abilities to keep him out. Sheer goes in, but good react flashes out of IG. A beautiful Q3 from Rookie to sneak him out. He flashes back in, and look at this Q3 from Rookie. Gonna find a double knockup onto Care, and then, yeah, this bouncing grenade. It found Care in the long haul. Ends up bouncing, finding him. It flashes away from it all. Yeah, it already hit there. It went invis. Yeah, flashed away from the projectile that was already down, and yeah, IG, Danny, the rest of their staff, they're looking pretty... Nice shoes there from Danny, actually. He's got some flair there.
Yeah.
With the style. But IG feeling comfortable on the back half of that, and they should be. As Jiejie is massive on the Lilia on the back half of that fight. Again, saw how much mileage those Qs were getting, and some of the difficulties of Ashe Braum going up against Lilia Jhin. Yone, it's just really tough for FPX to have reach against what IG has in this draft.
Arrow. Who's it for? Oh, it's timing Rookie on the soul unbound. Winter's Bite connects, and that guarantees the stun with Kair's auto attacks. Big shutdown.
5 grubs too could actually knock down this turret. Would be first and a step towards feet, so big win for FPX.
FPX got to take the wins where they can find them. Decent picks from Awesome once again. This time the arrow does find Rookie on the timing of the soul unbound. But IG still sitting pretty comfortable in their game state. They don't have the 5 grubs on their side, but they've picked up the first 2 dragons of the game. And we're looking at a Cloud Soul game. And you have to imagine that benefits a lot of the champions on the side of IG.
Yeah, I mean, again, Lilia, Renekton with Cloud Soul against this comp. Lilia is already fast to begin with. And because of the extra move speed she has, I mean, a lot of the slows from FPX are null. If she's able to stack up throughout a fight. I think it's really important, FPX, that they're able to pick Jiejie later on in this game. Again, going into Lilia, pick's always nice. If she's not allowed to ramp through a fight, that is how you can beat her. That said, we have seen, again, what Jiejie can do if he is enabled to ramp through a fight. And Lilia has been doing work already, and of course, he's the one that's very fed, actually going for that needlessly large rod. Looks like it's going to be a Zanya second here on Jiejie's Lilia.
I like it. Just open up more playmaking opportunities, which is something I wouldn't normally expect from someone who has to preserve their shutdown bounty. So that would be 371 gold that's on the table for FPX to claim. Good cleanse by Gala from the arrow. Shadow trying to threaten and pressure forward, but Meiko standing in between him and his 80 carry allows that the Glacial Prison will not find its mark if he launched it.
Yeah, and Meiko's really trying to tail this blitz towards bot that FPX has. They do have a cannon wave. TheShy doing his best to delete it. Will do so successfully in this dive.
Easy sidestep on the Sejuani ult there from TheShy.
Good play by TheShy again to play the wave. Renekton can delete waves. So good call there by TheShy to make sure that he's playing the wave and takes away that dive opportunity. He has ult for the next wave if he wants to do it again. Is FPX still looking and Meiko's still hovering?
Yeah, Meiko has flash, he has grand entrance and quickness available. Teleport is coming in, he pops it. Dominus also rocking as well for the rest of IG. The Buster Shot tries to push him away. All they want is the turret. Maybe they can turn it around. Sheer has arrived to the party as well. The flash comes out of TheShy to dodge the slicing Maelstrom. Rookie fishing with the Q3. Doesn't find the knockup yet. Decent damage. Soul Unbound will pop the mark. Sheer down to 50% HP. Rest of IG not going to follow up the fight.
Yeah, but it was a good stall from IG. They have Rift Herald that was taken throughout the duration of that attempted dive. Jiejie going to crash that in the mid. Actually can go for the double crash into the mid-inner if he reads it right. Able to skirt around the dead turret. Will find the second crash. Well played. The big win for IG.
Yeah, despite not having the 5 grubs on their side, IG are finding more turret destruction opportunities on their side than FPX is for the time being. They're up on turret kills at the moment, 3-2, and 3,000 gold advantage for IG as well. They are pretty much skirting through this mid game fairly safely, and FPX are just not finding enough opportunities to really punish and find that window to leverage.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you can say, like, why are we diving a Renekton, right? Like, that's it. Okay, hold on.
Oh, boy. I mean, he's going to try to sidestep him, but he can't sidestep them all. The curtain call finds one. Jwei's down for the count for the next 20 seconds.
Again, like Braum to Yone, Lilia, Jhin, it's hard. That's just a warning mission. It's not a draft where you're able to easily apply your passive and proc it as Braum. So again, they're stuck in Narnia, no teammates to jump to, and the shooting gallery ends up winning in the end as Gala finds the headshot and takes the kill for himself. But again, FPX, oh, hold on. You can't talk. There's always attempted plays in this game.
Rookie's able to dodge the arrow this time, and Meiko, once again, is there to bail out his mid laner, make sure that there is no Sejuani ultimate that can actually land.
I mean, at the moment of this game, though, like, we're seeing attempted plays on the Renekton, attempted plays on Yone on the side. None of these plays are working out FPX's way, and it feels like they're running out of ideas or answers into this comp, and still have to continue to give credit to TheShy and how he's playing this Renekton in the side lane, as he made it so hard to get dove throughout the duration of that play. And look at the advantage he's opened up over the cannon. That was multiple waves of, stuff being shared from Sheer, and then him TPing to a play that failed. He missed out on a lot by that play on the other side of the map. So, TheShy's opened up a nice lead now.
Yeah.
And has really done a good job of stalling out the game and making sure the rest of his team can win, as FPX have failed to make plays into him, and frankly, plays that I don't feel like were warranted in the first place.
And if you could not sense the desperation as early as Shadow chasing TheShy under the tower, unable to finish him off, it's got to be felt in all of these Ash arrows, trying to fly around the map, looking for plays to be made. FPX down 3,000 gold, trying to find a window where IG are caught sleeping on the rotation, isolated from the rest of their carries, from the rest of their defensive line, of where Meiko can bail multiple people out. But it's just IG continuing the map train of being able to pick up objectives here. 3 dragons now to their name. Otacon has spawned on the bottom side of the map.
Care is stuck. He's trying to hide. Meiko saw him. He's got no rocket jump.
Gonna be able to get out. Yep. Yeah. Deadly Flourish will connect. No chance and no point in burning the flash. That's just a dead Tristan on the screen for free.
Yeah, I mean, the attempted trade on the top side, it was trying to take
they're
inner.
Looking for more. Oh, man. The Soul Mountain just times out, but a lot of damage on the Shadow, and the Glacial Prison goes one because Jiejie popped the stasis before the ulti came out. That's a dead piggy, and the rest of IG are going to continue the chase, looking for Jwei. The curtain call. Jwei has to absorb it for his 80 carry, as Awesome will sidestep the last one.
20 minutes, too. I think IG is sprinting towards the Otacon as things continue to collapse around FPX. And again, this draft for IG, a lot of positive interactions for them. The Jhin, Lilia, I feel like complement each other so well, with Jhin bringing control and range to play off of Lilia so that they can really make plays from everywhere. And the Ashe Braum just hasn't been the right response to it. It feels like FPX are immensely outranged, and the attempted plays that they have made have been stymied by the Renekton or stymied by Meiko. As here, I mean, Kara gets caught, and it goes from bad to worse. Rookie was lying in wait. Found a pocket here. Found a nice chunk onto Shadow, which enabled this play to continue. And continue it did, as Jiejie doesn't connect with the ball, but does connect with the flash Q. That's the power play you're looking for on Lilia.
But it actually just went through him. I don't think he... On second look, I don't think he actually popped the stasis in time. It just went through him.
I think that's what we call miss, Raafaa, as the hitbox of Lilia Glacial Prison. You know, maybe it will.
I don't know, man. It looked like it went right through him. I mean, unfortunate for Shadow, but
yeah.
Maybe the spectate client is, you know, kind of more favoring.
It might be a spectate client moment. Those do happen sometimes. That's okay. So, yeah, again, game continues to go from bad to worse. All eyes on the Otacon. No Cloud still on the table until about when Baron spawns. Otacon only major objective. IG with big lead. Feel comfortable enough to start it up. Jiejie's level 14, man. He's the highest level in the game. He's so big this game.
Yeah, 3 levels above Shadow, Sejuani.
My God.
6,000 on the Otacon. Shadow tries to gain vision so he can step up and look for at least a steal. Teleport is coming in. TheShy arrives. Shadow comes in. Glacial Prison runs into the back. Finds Meiko. It's leashed off for now. 2K. Rookie and TheShy trying to buy time. Who's going to be able to secure it? Okay, Shadow steals it, but it's all about the flower game. But Shadow trying to push Jiejie back. TheShy is now losing ground. Rookie tries to step up, but Sheer finds Gala all isolated. There's the slicing maelstrom. Gala is shut down. Sheer on the cannon, able to find it, but Rookie trades one back on the fate sealed. And Awesome is dying into the back line. Rookie and TheShy still trying to carry out the fight. Is now down to Care, and he's got to set Jwei to try and be that front line for him, but there's no ultimate tools for TheShy. There's no ultimate from Rookie, but he jumps right into Jiejie. Bambi hits him with the heap. IG prevail.
I mean, that was all set up by TheShy in the back half. A beautiful combo to find the stun and synergize with Jiejie. And then Rookie on the Yone. Yone did see some changes on this patch. He can no longer snap out of CC when he snaps back to the E, but they did give him a little bit of extra damage to boot. Really saw that shine, the starting chunk on a Care. I look at what Care takes before the fight even starts. He's out of it before this one begins. As the fight continued, though, I thought the re-engage from Sheer would ring true, but no one could deal with the TheShy Rookie at the bottom of the fight. Beautiful smite. Wow, that was pretty much frame perfect coming out from Shadow. Again, the flowers were pretty much split. But watch the back half of this fight, because Sheer is going to go past TheShy in the front line. But Jwei and Awesome couldn't deal with Renekton at all.
Yeah, it was a tale of both top laners getting isolated access to the back liners, right? Both of the marksmen not going to be able to live to see the day. And I thought that maybe there was a chance. There was a chance that Care and Shadow could actually kite this one out with the range advantage. But then I forgot about Jiejie. FPX forgot about Jiejie in the back.
Yeah, I mean, that even the Shy, Jiejie helps wrap that one up. But the Stride Breaker Randuin's build, the double slows on this Renekton, of course, didn't go Cleaver into the cannon, who doesn't really build armor. Once the Stride Breaker, the slow, the utility to try and keep up. Took another one with the Randuins and made Awesome's life feel quite not awesome in that fight.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Now we're at Cloud Soul Point. A ward was popped down by FPX, but it is being clouded out by the control ward. They get brief vision, see that it's 5k HP. Arrow coming in. Meiko absorbs it, not the ideal target, but they're gonna all in for it. Take out the support. Sheer buy space with the slicing maelstrom. Jiejie is forced back. 2,000 HP on the dragon, but Rookie turns it around with a good fate seal. TheShy doing everything in the backline that he can. But it buys time for that Cloud Soul is secured. Jiejie Q flash, lilting lullaby onto the back. 2 men are falling asleep, and Gala is going to send them the night-night permanently. Gala steps up forward, but Care is able to equalize one back.
It's a quad. Looks like a multiple multi-kills going over. Rookie gonna look, but in the end, it's just a massive fight, a 4-for-4, and Cloud Soul secured for IG.
Cubby, when we said at the beginning of this game that if Game 3 was going to be anything like Games 1 and 2 was going to deliver,
yep,
it has not disappointed.
The Shy, I feel like him zoning out Care was like kind of worth it, kind of not, as really the back half of this fight for me, the fact that Rookie stays safe throughout the cannon ult, I think was the big difference maker looking back. And this might have been a little bit forward from Jiejie, because again, there's nothing that can really stop Care. Rookie was out of the fight, and oh wow, Gala hit that blind. That's quite nice, as did flash in, got the quad, Care got the triple, as 4-for-4s. I will say a lot of gold goes over to the Tristana, but Gala 11, 2, and 4 on this Jhin, up a full item to his opponent in the Ashe. This game's kind of going to come down to maybe a little bit of Care versus the world.
He really is the only champion that can kind of match Gala toe for toe in terms of damage output. If Sheer can't find that flank where Gala, no flash, no cleanse available, no protection from the rest of his squad, then it really does come down to Care.
For me, it's still so hard for FPX. Like, they're down a Cloud Soul now, and I think a lot of their comp, like, they have to close the gap. Again, Ashe Braum really outranged and out-interacted by this draft with the Lilia, Jhin, Rakan, and Cloud Soul does not help with that problem for FPX. So it has to really be on Sheer and Shadow to have sound angles and engages. Angles, again, difficult because IG has control of the map and the 3 lanes. So I feel like FPX still kind of running out of options and running out of hope a little bit in this one, even if Care is as big as he is.
Both teams getting a moment to breathe for the first time this game as things have slowed down. Baron is up, but neither team is going to immediately start it up. Elder spawns in the next 3.5 minutes. Both teams attending to side lanes before taking priority in the mid lane and trying to push that vision line, where they eventually will try and bait the other team forward for this Baron.
And one way FPX can try and close the gap against IG is actually just bait them in. So this does give IG the chance to set up that ward from Sheer. It's hunting for Meiko, but Meiko is yet to be spotted.
I mean, they know that someone is back there.
A lot of angles
look
here.
At the pincer. Everyone is corralled into the Baron pit, but they find a place of prison right onto the middle. Jiejie stunned up. Care trying to rock on forward. He flashes away from TheShy, but Rookie's already taken on Awesome. Care, it's all on you. You're the only marksman left for FPX, and Gala does not go down. The odds are stacked against them. Care's running for his life, but there's nowhere for him to run. IG overwhelmed the Phoenix crew, and they are victorious.
The kitchen sink was thrown at Gala, and he stands strong through the cannon ult. In the end, was able to at least have a tip assist in that fight, but with everything burned towards the Jhin, IG got to run rampant through the rest of the fight. And what's been a banger series, Mark, it started with 2 40-minute bangers. IG looking to make sure this series does go their way in the end.
I'm not going to close out the game. Death timer on Awesome and Jwei. It was a little too soon for IG to feel bold enough to close out this series, but Baron will be secured. They have nearly an 8,000 gold advantage at this point. You have to imagine that IG are pretty much in sound position to close the series out. Sheer, I don't think he has ult available. He's going to teleport in, maybe play for some kills here.
Nope.
Immediate turn from IG. The Soul Unbound Death Mark or Detonation will pop him. The rest of FPX just seeing if they could find any stragglers on the exit route out, but they're not going to get so lucky.
It's nothing. Another bloody game as, again, IG, they have delivered. They're playing for content. IG has been winning all 3 games. And again, everything thrown here on Gala. It was Jiejie catching the Glacial Prison, and a good peel here from Meiko that really saved Gala in the end, donated the heal towards him, and was able to get out himself on the back half. And again, everything thrown at Gala made it so that the rookie could find a good angle later on. Jiejie ult was able to, you know, set up and knock down the rest of a split FPX. But yeah, I will say that FPX, starting Baron is one way to solve the range issue and draw people into you, but doesn't solve the issue of all the angles that IG were able to create as they corralled FPX, made that fight very hard for them to win. And now IG just putting the finishing touches on this one.
Sidestep from TheShy, dodges the arrow from Awesome. IG continuing to push in through the bottom lane while TheShy maintains pressure through mid. They're going to turn onto TheShy for now. Good stun, maybe. Wait a minute. Don't tell me it's like game 1. TheShy is able to escape this time. And IG continue to push through the bottom side of the map. It's now 2 inhibitors completely exposed. Nexus turrets in sight of IG. Curtain Call opens up, fishing for damage. They're going to try to protect Jwei. They absorb the bullet. Meiko steps a little too far forward. It's a 5v4 for now on FPX, and it could be enough to at least hold the base for now.
I think Meiko was just shouting out TheShy in game 1 and what happened when he went in 1v4 as Investa and went down, and then
I mean, listen, FPX.
Wait a minute.
They were baiting. They knew that they wanted to face check to see if they're on Elder Dragon. The rookie, wait, rookie gets traded for Jwei. It's still a 4v3. I mean, FPX, they're 2 inhibitors down, but there's an Elder Dragon to play for. I imagine FPX, they have to take this window to try and force it.
Potential that rookie has ult or TP available when he spawns, but he is in the death chamber for 40 seconds. I still don't think FPX can create enough space to actually go contest the Elder for real while rookie is down. But we'll see. Shadow gonna do his damnedest to get in there as the Piggy's been making slow progress.
It's really hard.
I mean, once we feel like it's fully secured for IG, you know, they have to just remind us that it is IG and give us a minor heart attack. I feel like it's only appropriate.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, the Shadow has snuck his way into a tri-bush, but his control ward will be spotted. So he's going to reveal himself on Vision. Gets another control ward down into the pit.
Meiko's not spotted, as they don't know that they have wards below them. Again, Elder set up. Kind of coming down to this. As FPX, all eyes really have to be on care.
Look at the pings.
I want to say, Yone has the IE.
Arrow. Meiko absorbs it. He's isolated. He can't battle dance to anyone to safety. It's a 5-on-4 again. But look at the minion wave on the bottom side. FPX can't dilly-dally right now. TheShy is immediately beelining it for the bottom wave. He doesn't give a crap about the Elder Dragon unless he wants to look for a flank. But the minion wave is still stacking on the bottom side. FPX have to do this quick. They don't have a lot of time. 9,000 on the Elder Dragon. Jiejie stepping up with Gala. Q flash forward onto 3. Sheer opens up space. Gala is forced to go back. 2,000 HP on the Elder Dragon. It's secured by Jiejie. IG! They've done it! And just like that, the rest of FPX get popped. One last ditch attempt by them. The Hail Mary does not land. The TPs are rolling. Jiejie true on the smite will deny any hope for an upset from FunPlus Phoenix. And it's IG taking the series 2-1.
Oh, what felt like a fun series, a couple of bangers, a little bit of slop, you know, all fun and games. Well, it all comes to the end when the Elder Dragon starts breathing fire, as I feel like that was kind of a nice synonym or metaphor for the series here, Raafaa. as IG, they were the ones that brought more firepower in the end. And while they had some bumps in the road, some classic IG moments, it is going to be a 2-1 win as they find the series win against FPX after that surprising first map win that FPX were able to dig up. I mean, that was pretty much a Nexus dying as everyone else was respawning by IG. It felt like a game that IG should have won. And frankly, I feel like still a series that they should have won. But man, FPX made that close. I still really feel like going through that game 2, there were angles for FPX to win. Game 3 for me was really the only game in that series that was done and decided in IG's favor. But hey, FPX, they were a team that really snuck into this group. Of course, they were one of the 3 seeds that qualified for the Ascend group. And hey, it feels like they at least belong a little bit more after that series, right? They might be here to compete instead of just be participants.
I think the best thing you can do as FPX right now, obviously the moment in a loss that was so close in series overall is going to sting. But remember what the expectations were going into this series. Remember where you stack up against the rest of the competition. Taking a game off of one of the favorites for the league in IG, especially the form that they were showing in the placement stage, that should be confidence boosting for FPX for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I gotta say, especially like some of the more veteran voices that we have that have like followed LPL a lot more deeply than I have the few years that I have been involved. They've been pretty disappointed in the past about Shadow's play. I think Shadow's playing all right now. Like he is playing with a lot of direction, and I feel like at times like Shadow tries to do too much. We definitely saw instances of that even in that last game. I mean, the death to TheShy, like flashing at a turret or queuing at a turret, that's pretty bad. But we did see some other moments where him playing with that direction, like even picking Meiko there at the end. I feel like that's actually a decent solution to at least try to make things easier for his team. And we saw his direction and that Xin play net them that game 1 win. So I think that his performance for me, that's been a lot better than usual for FPX. And I think that him and some other people on the team have really helped elevate them to new levels. I still think Shear's the best performer, but Shadow for me, compared to the form we're used to seeing for him, is the one that is really playing better than what we're used to seeing, and that's good to see.
And while Jwei wasn't able to find nearly the same flair in this final game on the Braum, I mean, who's gonna forget his Nautilus in game 1? Hell, there's
even the Nico.
Even the Nico was proving to be really, really clutch for FPX as IG was struggling to fight for control again, even though IG in the end were victorious in being able to wrangle momentum of the game back in their own hands. I think there's definitely some bright spots on FPX that you can look forward to, at least in their the foundation between support and jungle and top lane. I think Care and Awesome had good moments. I think it's just what is missing from maybe FPX taking it from, okay, they made it here, they're happy to be here, to now like, oh, these guys could actually be competitive with the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think game 1, it was a tough task for Awesome, but some moments that he could have played better, maybe gotten some more out of. I think game 2, if Awesome plays better, this could have been a 2-0 for FPX. Game 3, I'll give him a hall pass. I think it's really tough to play Ash Braum into the composition that IG had. So, but yeah, that said, I mean, again, the fact that like we're talking about FPX, like, hey, maybe or can they be competitive in this group? That's real positive. Like, I have this team done and dusted in Group Nirvana. I have them as a team, a candidate to actually not even see play in Split 3 when the split started. So the fact that that was kind of the expectation where we had FPX to, hey, they made a change, Awesome's in, and they're actually competitive against IG. Is that classic IG, or is that FPX actually stepping up and scaling? Recent form says that it is some FPX closing the gap and actually playing better than where we had them. So I still want to hand out some positives there for sure.
Yeah, and like we said, this is week 1 of an 8-week season in the Rumble stage. So there's plenty of games, double, round robin, best of 3. If this is the start that FPX are going to open up with, I think there's potential for a lot of growth to happen over the course of these next 2 months as we close down things and head into playoffs at the end of May. But God, going through the highlight reel once again, IG, it goes to show that when these guys are the ones I mean, for the first time in the series, they have a much better early game than FPX does, respectively. It just seemed so hard for FPX to ever regain control again.
Yeah, and you know, Raafaa, some people on this cast just want to watch TheShy play in Italy. Other people, like myself, the true intelligentsia of League of Legends, just want to see TheShy play Renekton. His Renekton's always just it's way too good, man. He's so good on this champion. It's sad because I'm trying to think about like player of the series who I give it to. I think Rookie is the player of the series for me. He's not going to win a single MVP, though, sadly. For me, I think it's got to be Jiejie this game with Adelia. He really got ahead early and took off. Even if I feel like TheShy was actually... Him absorbing pressure was a big part of the reason why IG and the rest of the team were able to get so far ahead in the mid-game. I thought TheShy played really well this game. Yeah,
I mean... I still think it was crazy that TheShy got it in Game 2, but you know what? Maybe Jiejie will get it for Game 3 and the overall series score. Because...
I think Gala gets it this game, by the way, but I'd still give it to Jiejie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's gonna get the KDA and like the KDA point, even if I feel like he was just kind of played the game. And
I mean, but you are right though about Rookie. Rookie like
he was solid in all three.
Played, yeah. He was a quiet MVP. He was just, which is this is like one of the important takeaways for IG fans, because Rookie was not consistent in Split 1. But so far in Split 2, he has been dependable. He has been reliable. Yeah,
most like Rookie, like, you know, the classic Rookie scenario was like, oh god, please just give Rookie a team. And in Split 1, it was like, oh god, is Rookie actually the problem this time around? Split 2, it's looking more like, oh god, please give Rookie a consistent team again, right? Because when IG is consistent, they can be a great team, but I'm still gonna look for them to clean up some of those errors. I feel like this was a series where, when you look at the game time and the kill counts, I mean, this wasn't the cleanest League of Legends, but that is where some of the talent of IG lies. Yeah. That in the end of the day, these guys are going to be better players than a lot of teams in this league. The pedigree on this team, it is real. It is a big thing, so we'll see if IG can clean things up and pair that pedigree with some more solid play. Okay, Jiejie, LPL continues to be pretty based. I still don't know why TheShy got MVP in Game 2, but the Jiejie over Gala pick actually saves it. Jiejie made some really big plays in this game. I think very, very well deserved in the MVP.
Ever since I still have the IG Top Esports Lily game in my mind, where he blast cone over the wall and stole the Elder Dragon on the Lilia. It was a damn shame for IG to lose that one after Jiejie literally gave them the entire world to make a comeback. But you know what? This time he's rewarded. Not only stealing the Baron in Game 2 on the Lee Sin that actually gave IG a window back into the game, but also another monster performance on the Lilia.
This was a big one.
Yeah, he really is one of the best players on this champion in our league. I mean, this guy makes it just
very
look so god tier, and just being able to recognize it was such a great opportunity to draft it here in Game 3. But that concludes our series, our first one. We still have 2 more best of 3s coming your way between TT and BLG, which is up next, and then later on Top Esports and Anyone's Legend. And so if you're staying up for the long haul, I salute you, because
you got a treat at the end, to be fair. We're hoping the next series is a treat like this one was. This was the entertainment banger. Later is the banger. What we have in the middle is yet to be determined. We'll see if it's a BLG stomp or something else.
Well, we'll see soon. So we're going to be taking a short break. When we come back, Thunder Talk versus BLG will be on your screen.